I'm a living example of you can get punched in the face and get back up, because I'm the modern day Aztec warrior.
Yeah, I'm spitting it heavy, the mission is steady. A bitch is a jelly, I'm ditching the petty. You're digging for pennies, I'm itching and ready. I open my heart when I listen to Shetty. I'm bold like a boss, but I'm little like Debbie. I know what the boss, I got Richard and Getty. I'm holding the guap and I'm whipping the Yeti. Yeah, Kari can play with advanced moves. I'm fucking my girl and her man too. I'm taking the ball like the Rand do. My soul is the one that I can't lose. I soak up the sun like a sand dune. I'm holding up love with the bamboo. I'm rolling the blunt by the candle. Taking the game, running it back without taking a drink. Yeah, I'm the one and I'm making a wave. Rolling the blunt and I'm blazing a J. I'm escaping the brain, go straight for the cake. I'ma take to the bank, not taking a break. I'm made for the race, I pray for the day. I wake with a bake in a great estate. Are you living in a box? I'm bigger than a box. I'm spitting to supply my bread. My vision on the top is living like a boss when I kick it in a nice white jet. I'm quicker with the bars, I'm wishing with a one. Yeah, I'm dipping to the bar, I guess. I'm switching like LeBron when I spit it in song. My mission is to try my best. Taking a stab, but I came with a bad. I be chasing to grab my goals. If you ain't in the back and you ain't with the facts, don't be faking and act like bros.
Back to MMA Underground, your favorite part of Tuesday. I'm one half of dynamic duo known as Buddy V, killing it with the one and only
Sam K. And man, we live, we here, we ready, and we got two phenomenal guests all the way from Street Beefs West Coast. One of the originators himself of the branch, the one, the only, Master Roshi.
How's everybody doing? Let's go, West Side.
And from all the way from StreetBeefs Scrapyard, we have one of the most renowned new fighters in the game, Hostility.
Hey, what's up? I'm not thick anymore, but I'm still quick.
That's what's up. Glad to have y'all.
You guys, this is gonna be a fun show because we got two good people. We're gonna have lots of good questions, and even before the show, we were all just having a good time talking. So I already know it's gonna go smooth.
OTH.
What's up, OTH? Now, I originally was gonna ask Hostility to start off what it was like, kind of fighting both amateur and with street beefs. But I know you might want to elaborate on that a little bit more too.
It was definitely an experience. Fighting under a sanction on a sanction card is a lot different than fighting on street beefs, because going into it not knowing who you're gonna fight, what they look like, what their experience is, anything. You're just trusting whoever it is putting the fights together. In this case, Fire Chicken, and hoping it turns out good. That's wild. I've had a lot of people that I train with for a long time tell me that they would never do that, and they're professionals.
All right.
And your first fight was with Not Your Average Girl, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, because she's a beast. When I saw her, she's shredded. And I was really out of shape. I hadn't trained for like almost 2 years before doing that fight. And then my boyfriend, Jesse Ibarra, aka Satori, he fights on Street Beefs as well. He reached out to me and was like, hey, you haven't fought in a long time. You're not really even training. You should go try Street Beefs, because he knows I really like to fight. So yeah, I jumped into it, and then it kind of lit a fire under my ass. So that way I got back into training, and now I'm going to do bare knuckle.
That's going to be great to see. I mean, you got hands and feet and knees. So, I mean.
Yeah.
I want to switch over to Master Roshi real quick, though. For those who don't know, my guy's been on a little hiatus, but he is literally one of the originators. See if we can get Master Roshi on that. One of the originators. Can you talk a little bit about how Street Beefs West Coast was started and what your role was in that?
So, Street Beefs West Coast started about 5-6 years ago? You think?
Three. The West Coast, 3.
It was like 20, man.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, they were starting the first Street Beefs event, and originally I didn't know what to expect, so I just came out. I had all my equipment, MMA gloves, everything ready to go. And when I got there, I saw that there was like probably 50 fighters, and I figured I would be a better addition to the program if I helped. So Martin or Tiny Tank, he asked me if I could referee and I could judge, and then that was kind of how I got into the sport, and that's also how I got my nickname. So I was wearing a Hawaiian shirt, and you know, as you can see, bald, and everybody was like, "You look like Master Roshi," and then that's how Master Roshi was born. I have a lot of fun organizing and helping the event, helping all the young fighters. So I just took that role that ended up being the best place for me as an individual with the organization to help out, help support, help organize, do weigh-ins and all that good stuff.
Awesome, man. You do a great job, bro.
Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
Man. And you know, if I'm not mistaken, you both have children, right? I was gonna ask if you would teach your kids how to fight growing up, or if it's something that you kind of like. I'll teach them some self-defense, but kind of keep them out of the more like competition style of it.
I think every parent. I love that. Is that the rainbow unicorn flavor? It's so good. Such
the best.
So I believe every parent has a perspective on that. My personal perspective, my son is going to be taught. He's gonna, you know, I'm going to teach him to master everything I know when it comes to fighting. He's going to master boxing. He's going to master Muay Thai. He's gonna do it all, and he'll have no choice. It won't be whether he likes it or not. It'll be part of his. It's like no kid likes to learn math. No kid likes to learn how to read. But what we make them learn it, right? Because it's going to be part of their success as they grow up. And I view martial arts being equally, if not more important, because you know you can learn to read and write in English, but you know, different languages everywhere else in the world, but martial arts is a universal language. So, to me, it's probably one of the most important things that my son's going to learn is mastery of martial arts. It's important.
Nice. I like.
Yeah, I second that. I think it's really important for us as parents to make sure that our kids have all the tools necessary, not just mental tools going to school. They also need to know how to defend themselves. And so, yeah, I second that.
Yeah, all right. What's up, Go See?
Hell yeah. And so, why does my computer sound quiet? That's weird. My thing's acting up or something. I was gonna ask Hostility because Master Roshi kind of explained how he got his nickname, and you know, with the way you fight, I mean, you're very hostile. So, did you pick your nickname or was it given to you?
No, it wasn't given to me. I picked it. My first name was Daredevil when I first started fighting almost 10 years ago, and then I just felt like that didn't really fit my style. So then I just started looking around the thesaurus and I saw Hostility. I was like, that's pretty good.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, nothing cool. I wish I really had a cool story. I should have made something up, but no, nothing cool.
Hey, you live up to the name, though. You definitely do.
I appreciate that.
Did you come up with the thick but quick as well, or did someone else do that?
Yeah, because my weight fluctuates a lot, and so, but I still work out even when I'm really heavy, and so that's always kind of been something that I say in whatever workout that I'm doing, training, fighting, or lifting weights or whatever. Kind of like a motivation, you know. Even though I'm thick, like I can still do things.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna borrow that one.
That's motivation for the thick ladies out there.
Heck yeah. You can be thick and still beat ass.
Right. So I'm asking everybody. I don't know who's out there, you know, gonna kick my butt, you know, shit.
Master Roshi, I wanted to ask real quick, man. You've done a little bit of everything, man, as far as, you know, helping with the events, reffing, judging. A lot of people aren't aware you are also a coach as well. And actually, at one point was my coach when I first moved to Vegas. Can you talk a little bit about your coaching background and what that consists of?
Well, as you know, I specialize in martial arts, MMA, as I do it professionally. So I've always been an MMA coach, helping out a lot of the people with MMA technique. As of the last couple of years, I've been focusing a lot more on boxing. So I've been working a lot with boxing. I think boxing is a beautiful sport, and the beautiful thing about martial arts is there's so many different art forms that you can your passion can change with your life. You know, I started out doing karate when I was 8, and then got into boxing, and then got into jiu-jitsu. So right now my biggest focus is boxing, but you never know what the future holds. But I started out as an MMA coach. I did MMA professionally, and that was kind of exciting and everything. You never know where it's going to go. You know?
You should get mad like me spending my time with stuff. It's all part of the ground. You're supposed to hang out 24/7.
Do y'all hear something in the background?
That was me. I was tripping out too. I was sitting there. I'm like, I know that's not my kids. They were over there.
Oh, I'm at the gym right now. You guys might hear the background.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I was standing outside the door so that way you guys wouldn't pick up on the noise. But
No,
It's all
hey,
good.
all right. You got some live sparring right now? All right.
yeah, yeah. No, just some training conditioning. No sparring today.
You're
It's
at the
good to
gym.
Yeah.
spar.
You
It's good to fight, but to do it, you can also over spar. You know, gotta
True.
focus on the
True.
technique. Mhm.
Actually, that's a
What
perfect
is
question I have
your
for both of
my
you.
bad. Go ahead, buddy.
I was gonna say a perfect question I have for both of y'all was because we brought up before is your thoughts on sparring, whether it's versus light sparring, hard sparring, how much of each should you even do hard sparring or stick to only hard, or you know, you want to go first, Coach?
Sure. So, from my experience and what I've come to, the general consensus, there's 2 types of sparring. There's technical sparring, which you see a lot in like Muay Thai. You see a lot of technical sparring. MMA, you see a lot of technical sparring, even though it's a little bit harder to do. And then, of course, there's like what we call hard sparring. Typically, hard sparring is the type of sparring somebody does in preparation for a competition. If you're not preparing for competition, you really shouldn't be doing hard sparring. If you're not getting ready for a fight and you're doing hard sparring, you're probably that guy on the mat that everybody hates to go with. But technical sparring, when done, so like for instance, over at Streetbeefs West Coast, one of our admins, WA Wade, he's a highly experienced Muay Thai fighter, and he and I will get into some technical sparring all the time. And with technical sparring, it's a lot like when you see karate, where it's kind of point based, meaning if he throws a good kick and it enters the body, you give him the kick. You don't try to catch it, grab it, down. Basically, you respect the fact that if he would have thrown that kick full speed, you're not grabbing it, you're not countering it. The technical sparring, you try to reach the target, and your opponent, if you get the target, adequately, your opponent, in a lot of ways, accepts it. And so technical sparring, you can get this back and forth, high pace, and it's more like training accuracy and timing. So that's technical sparring, and then that you can do as often as you want. A lot of Muay Thai schools, they always end or start practice with technical sparring, and it's a great way to learn your range, your timing, your movement, how to read an opponent's body movements. So in terms of technical sparring, I think the more the better, but it's very hard to find partners that are able to provide what can be considered good technical sparring. Hard sparring. Let's get to the other part. Hard sparring. I believe when you're getting ready for competition, there is only
Same.
one speed you should be sparring at, and that's hard sparring. If you have a competition coming up, you need hard sparring rounds, and they need to be measured. They need to be with the designated sparring partner, a partner that's going to help you get better, but also a partner that's not going to let up. Your partner needs to understand what's about to happen. Like they need Your sparring partner needs to know this is hard sparring. A lot of the professional MMA gyms I'm associated with in Las Vegas, when we're talking guys like UFC top 10 guys getting ready for fights. When they spar, it's hard sparring. That's why sometimes you hear of guys, oh, that guy got knocked out in training. That's because they're doing hard sparring. It's risky, but it yields a great reward. It's risky because with hard sparring comes a higher danger for injury, headbutts, accidental knees, getting knocked out. Because you got to think about the people you're sparring should be dangerous enough to have the ability to knock you out, and that's just something that happens once in a while. But I think hard sparring should be reserved for people preparing for competition, and it needs to be measured, and it needs to be well monitored. Both coaches should be present, your coach and the other sparring partner's coach. So that's my opinion on sparring. Technical sparring, do it often. Do it as often as you can. Never stop technical sparring, even when you're an old fighter like me. Hard sparring, bro. If you're not getting ready for a fight, you do not need to be hard sparring.
Fair enough. Awesome explanation. Thank you.
Heavy on hard being monitored, because I've experienced and also witnessed. It's easy to do when you're fighting, especially when you have a fight coming up as a fighter, to start sparring with somebody, coach isn't there, and you guys start turning it up, and nobody has everybody's egos in the way, and you just start going at it. And then by the end of the round, you're like, oh, dang, we should probably chill a little bit, but, heavy on the monitor.
You bring up a very good point, Hostility. You definitely need coaches present for hard sparring for the emotional toll that it can take on both fighters. Like, things can start getting heated really quick. That's really important. I think when you're getting ready for a fight, your coach monitoring your hard sparring, it's important, because then your coach can see like weaknesses you might have in your game. Your coach is able to see places that they need to improve upon, because unless you're recording, and for everybody listening out there, always record your sparring. You need to watch it after you do it, so you can see where you can get better, where you need to get better, where there was openings, and more importantly, you need to be able to see what worked. It's hard when you're fighting to know what worked, what didn't work, but when you go back and you watch your film, you can really go, oh, hey, my right straight lands really well, or my left hook is really nice, or I drop my hand when I do this. So having your coach present to monitor hard sparring is important, both to keep both fighters safe and keep the emotions off the mat, but also more importantly, so we can monitor you to see where you improve, where you're doing well, and where we can make little tweaks for the game.
Oh yeah,
I'm liking this dropping. We're getting some knowledge bombs tonight. Yeah,
for sure.
Coach,
fun fact. I came into the gym one time. Again, Coach Alfredo, Master Roshi. He was one of the coaches at Fitness 23, which is one of the major gyms that used to be out here in Vegas. And I walk into the gym, and I got here a little bit late, but I noticed Roshi was in the ring sparring, and I was like, oh, wow. He's always giving us the classes and the drills. Great information, great work. But I was like, here's the opportunity to get in there and get some rounds in with Coach. I didn't realize it was a hard sparring day.
Yeah.
I willingly walked up, like a little kid, like, oh man, can I get around? Roshi gave me the look, and I said, oh man. I was like, he's not giving me the same. Okay. Fun fact. The closest I've ever been to ever being knocked out.
Well,
that's the thing. I feel like if anybody if anybody walks into a MMA gym, boxing gym, and they ask, "Can I get around?" They're gonna be getting around.
Are you breaking up?
When you ask the head coach.
Yeah.
Like, oh, so
Say it again.
I'll sample it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying that it doesn't matter who it is, if they're walking into an MMA gym or a boxing gym and they say, "Can I get around?" They're going to be getting around.
Yeah.
Especially if you ask the head coach. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
You know what's
It
funny
was
about
great
that?
though, because it was like, yeah, it was one round, thank God. It was one round. But you know what? You showed me something in that one round that I use to this day almost every single fight, and that was the gazelle punch. The gazelle punch. And I used that gazelle punch.
Nice.
And man, yeah. So,
You know who throws that
like
a lot?
you said, man.
Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is a master of that particular punch, the gazelle punch. Gervonta Tank Davis. He can throw that thing from halfway across the ring, bro, and drop a guy. That guy has an amazing gazelle punch.
I practice that, man. I really do.
Do you know the gazelle punch hostility he's talking about?
No, I've never heard of that. I'm sure if you showed me, maybe I've seen it, but I've never heard of that.
Well, obviously you train at a gym.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, whatever coach is in charge of like striking or boxing, ask them, and they'll, it's a common technique. It's Bobby, or is it Buddy? It's Buddy, right? Buddy, you know what punch I'm talking about, the gazelle punch?
Not fully, no.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. So here's the guy, right? And so basically it's like a hop skippity, right? Like skippity left hook, lead hook. So you do this hoppity forward.
Yeah.
You've seen it before. Mike Tyson does it.
So like a pendulum step?
They do that, yeah. That right?
Kind of.
Left hook, right? So hop skippity whoop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time. Okay. Hop, skippity, whoop.
So I feel like I can do it already just by seeing that demonstration.
It's a common technique. It's you can study it. There's footwork. There's patterns. It's a fine technique. And it's hard to, when you're fighting somebody, that gazelle hook, it's hard for them to tell whether that hook's going downstairs, upstairs, or what's coming. It's a beautiful.
They don't know what it is. Every person I've hit with that, they've messaged me and been like, "Hey, what did you hit me with?"
I was like, I hit him with the
like that's where I saw Samke doing a fight.
I hit him with the Kamehameha. No, but yeah, for all the listeners, the gazelle hook, the gazelle lead hook, look it up, study it. It's a fine technique. It's great. It's a great tool to have in your toolbox. And for you, Hostility, who you're getting into the prize fighting thing, if you can score a gazelle hook like knockout, bro, that is a moneymaker. Bro.
I'll do it live on TV just for you. And then I'll shout you out and be like, "Hey, this is where I learned it."
You will get a call. You will get a call from other fighting organizations if you can land that. It's a beautiful technique.
Yeah. Oh, I'm serious. I'm gonna work on it, and I'm gonna try to land it. You'll see.
Gorgeous. You'll love it.
But that just goes to show.
Like what I like to do is.
Go ahead.
What I like to do is, even if I miss it, like I'm right there in range to clinch. So regardless, like I'm right where I want to be, whether I hit you or whether we're clinched up,
Great distance closer for sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. I'll have to check that out. And I was gonna say, if you're gonna do some bare knuckle BKFC, would you ever do some bare knuckle MMA too? I think, what was it? Not Masvidal has that circuit, or somebody.
Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah, honestly, I'm down to do whatever. I really don't care. I just like to fight. And I've been an amateur for a really long time. I was supposed to go pro in 2020, and then COVID happened. And so that was kind of the downfall of my fighting. And then my gym kind of broke up during COVID. And then I just barely came back last year.
Where do you train out of, Hostility, if you don't mind me asking?
I train at it's a gym called Believers Boxing. It's a local boxing gym here in Tri-City, Washington.
Okay.
Right now, there's no all the MMA gyms in the where I live, Tri-City, Washington. All the MMA gyms kind of went out of business during COVID, and so now there's really only boxing around here. So that was another big reason why I was like, "Oh, I'll just focus on boxing and take that route. And also bare knuckles badass. So
Bare knuckle is badass.
yeah.
Really is. Are you gonna be preparing? Are you gonna try to like do anything to prepare your knuckles to make them a little bit more for the impact, or just keep doing what
Yeah.
you're doing?
No, yeah. I've already started changing my training regimen specifically for bare knuckles. So I've started punching a sandbag, not like extremely hard, but like hard enough that way it bruises my knuckles a little bit, builds up that calcium in the knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the sparring is a little harder with the guys, so that way I can get used to any whops, But hopefully my head movement will be good enough. That doesn't happen, but you always want to be prepared.
Well, we'll be watching and supporting for sure.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
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 Viking Warrior. Yeah,
Mhm.
Viking Warrior's tall. He's a good one to train with. I know. I actually was gonna ask. Speaking of the height, what was it? Like not your average girl or whatever. Was that your tallest opponent, or have you ever fought anyone taller than that?
No, she's about the average height of my opponents. So I'm 5'5", and I fight heavy. 155 as an amateur, and I drop down to 145 sometimes. Now as a pro, I'm gonna go down to 145, 135. But that's what I was saying, that she was like, I'd been training for 2 years, and then I go to Street Beefs, and I see her, and I'm like, God bless, I've got the tallest, most in shape person here. But then, I'm down, so I was just like, all right, let's go, girl, let's figure this shit out. Yeah, I'm used to being the shortest one in the cage.
How did you do against that opponent?
Really well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wipe out.
What was the
Wipe out.
result?
Oh, I won by decision.
Nice.
I think it would have been a wipeout if it was a finish. She did really well. She held her own.
It's
Mhm.
really hard to finish off a taller, athletic opponent. So, but winning a decision is
Yeah.
like nothing short of a victory.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And
But
literally
as a
in your
fighter,
first fight,
you always want to get that finish.
Of course. Absolutely.
you made a name for yourself in the scrapyard, literally in your first fight. So I mean, that in
Yeah.
itself is, that says a
Yeah.
lot about what you did.
Well, I
That's one of the
appreciate that.
oldest branches, right? The scrapyard.
Hmm?
That's one of the oldest branches, the scrapyard, right? Or is that the original one?
Because it goes,
Scrapyard is the second branch that was made
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah.
OG,
at
and then
Washington.
Scrapyard, West Coast, and then Dirty South, or yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was actually y'all were, I think, the third, because I don't know. I think Pound for Pound was made right before y'all.
Yes,
It was either
I
before
forgot about
y'all.
Pound.
Yeah,
Hey,
Pound for Pound was
hold on.
shortly lived branch.
Speaking of branches,
The
there's
cornflake.
a rumor circulating in the Street Beefs universe, and there's a chance that Master Roshi himself will be possibly starting a branch out here in the Midwest, up in the north. I'm based out of Minnesota, so there's been talks about me starting a branch out here that'll give access to a lot of the Midwest area, Chicago, Minnesota, Canada. I'm gonna try to get some of those Canadians down, bro. So talking about branches, look out, because there's very soon possibly going to be another branch, Street Beefs North. So just keep a lookout.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Snow Warriors.
Yes. Okay. No. So you know how every branch has a hook. I want my fights to take place in the snow. Oh, look, somebody's already like, I live in Wisconsin. Like, hey, what's up? Let's go. You gotta bring the cheese, bro. If you're coming to fight, you gotta bring me a wheel of cheese. But yeah, so my fight's gonna take place in the snow, dude. In the
Oh my gosh, that would be wild. That would be wild. Yeah, that would
I
be
got
wild.
fight over there. Oh
Yeah,
man.
dog.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens, But yeah, we've been myself and Martin Rubio have been talking with Face, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I find out. I'll come on the show and officially announce it. But right now it's like Rome. It's just a whisper. Anything louder than a whisper, and it'll vanish.
That's why y'all gotta tune into the show, because you get to hear this stuff live here first. You know, you get to get the little insiders, have a good time.
Yeah.
So you can be like, yeah,
Ah.
I know.
It's north.
And
Hey,
you
that
don't
would
like
be a
it?
huge addition.
You said what?
I said that would be a huge addition to, Street Beefs.
Thank
Oh,
you.
hell yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. I think it would be great.
That's why
And
we
see,
need
I
to
was gonna
encourage people, get out and go fight.
I want to talk about that actually. So you guys are all from different branches. One of the biggest things that I really fell in love with this organization is the amount of people this thing helps. There's been a handful of fighters just in the West Coast organization that have gone on to fight professionally, that have gone on to join high level gyms. One of our very own, Free Smoke, just came back from Thailand, where he was representing the United States in Muay Thai. And,
That's awesome.
these are grassroots street beefs, fighters that if it wasn't for street beefs, he would have never, and so that's just something I love about this organization. The amount of people it helps the sport, it helps people, and it's just something that I really come to love about the Street Beefs organization is the amount of people it helps.
That's real, because when you guys asked me earlier about the difference between fighting on Street Beefs and when I was fighting as an amateur, in all my amateur fights, I didn't receive as many views any of those fights. I would receive maybe 300-400 views on my fights, and I do one Street Beefs fight, not knowing what the heck I'm doing, and then it's like millions of people see it.
Why do you guys think that is? Why do you think Street Beefs gets such a huge audience as opposed to other organizations that have marketing professionals? They have internet, social media people trying to get their things known. And Street Beefs, this little grassroots organization put together by a bunch of like yahoos that just love to fight, gets so much exposure. Why do you guys think that is?
I think. Go ahead.
No, I was
Also,
just
yeah,
gonna say, I think what it is it starts with the OG branch and the longevity. Starting back in what 08, 09. If you think back to the earliest days of YouTube, right? When you saw a street fight, it was either Kimbo Slice, it was bum fights, or it was a Street Beefs fight. So, like, yes, it's grassroots, but like, according to the algorithm, Street Beefs has been here. You know what I mean? So the name alone, anything attached to it is gonna slowly, it's gonna gravitate and get traction.
I will definitely second that. Even out here in Minnesota, over here in the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, whenever the name Street Beefs comes up, even in my boxing gym, people's like ears prick up and they're like, "Wait, Street Beefs?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Master Roshi. I got to go to Vegas to help out." They're like, "Whoa, what?" And I'm like, "You guys heard of it?" And dude, it's amazing just how popular this organization is all over the country, if not all over the world.
Yeah. We got some viral people, over the years for sure. Viral moments as well.
What is one of
Hostility?
your favorite memories in your Street Beefs, each of you individually? What's like maybe a fight you had or a knockout you saw, or like what is like? And there's a million of them, but just off the top of your head, what is a fave?
Well, there's this fighter named Papas out of the Scrapyard. That guy, the first time I saw him fight, I thought it was the funniest shit, and I'll never forget that.
Tell us about
Because of his personality, the personality that he brings into the cage, and I think that's another reason why Street Beefs is so popular, is because it's not just these athletes that are showing up who've been training for weeks, getting ready for a fight. It's literally a manager of Applebee's coming through just to scrap, and that's what people like, because that's real,
Yep. What about you, Somke? What's the favorite memory you have?
Man, I got years worth of memories, bro. So I can't pick just one. Some of the standouts though, immediately is like, I don't get too emotional, but like if a fight ends and it emotionally touches me, you know what I mean? Like, DTP's first fight, how he dedicated it to his father who passed away. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And see somebody like drop to the ground and like just cry out,
yeah,
in pain, but also in victory. You know what I'm saying? Like that hit me. You know what I'm saying? To see somebody like a mustache, who's
mustache.
going through real life shit outside of fighting, and then he comes and he gets a few L's, and then he comes out one day and he gets a crazy finish, and he lets it all out at the end. And he says, I think we can all identify with, he says, I'm a fighter too. I'm a fighter too, and he's yelling it to everyone afterward, not to his opponent, just like to the world, like those moments to me kind of stick with me forever, bro.
I love that. To see character, to see a
Yeah.
human soul,
Yeah.
soul of the fight. How about
Yeah.
yourself, buddy? What's a favorite memory?
I have to say, I think it was Jay Gotham's birthday one year because it was at the same day as a scrapyard event. And he came out, he had to work, he came out for a second. I think he got a quick fight in and left and did something. And I remember it was cool because everybody had a good fight. There was a lot of fights that came out that day. I got in the cage, and afterwards, we all went to his house. And I remember afterwards, the fact that everyone went out to fight, we all came together as a community. And I was just like, it was crazy because I feel like just as much as I'm there in the cage, even outside of that cage, because we all share that bond. Like we all came and we all had our different styles, had our different things. We're all goofing about it. We're trying to take turns playing music, and even like a Crazy Legs is like, man, y'all might not like some of the stuff I listen to, so I'll take a pass. We're all cracking up, and it's like, it's just this little thing where it's like, yeah, this community was created, and now I'm a part of it. And whether it's West Coast Scrapyard or the OG branch, Dirty South, when you're a street beast fighter, there's that instant connection. Like, wait, what? Because I know I've talked to a few people and they've heard about it, this and that, and it's just like, yeah, the community is one of the biggest things for me, and that night always sticks out because it was just something about hearing everyone keep saying, "I fight street beefs, I do this," and hearing people in the background everywhere we went for the night just talk about street beefs. Oh, I've heard of the street beefs. I heard of street beefs, and even some of the biggest dudes in the back trying to start shit with people. All of a sudden, heard and they're coming up, fangirling out like, "You fighting street beefs? Oh, blah 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 blah." And it's just like, yeah,
Amazing. Those are amazing stories.
It's funny you mentioned you said something about beef, yeah? Did you say the word beef?
yeah.
That reminds me, like I witnessed two guys get into a fight, something dirty happened, and now they're getting a rematch as a beef fight at another event. These guys have a beef fight. It's the opposite of the original fight. After the beef fight, these guys are friends, playing video games online together and stuff. And it just goes back to the community, the brotherhood, the fellowship, what this is really about. You know what I mean? Solving disputes, but also like community.
The fellowship of the beef.
Yeah.
If I can remember correctly, I believe that he started this organization for that purpose. He wanted to get people to settle their differences in a way that didn't result in death. I think it was gloves up, guns down, right?
Yeah.
I guess this speaks to the truth of the original vision for what this was.
Oh
Hey,
boy.
what's up,
What
Doughboy?
up, champ?
Congratulations on your last fight.
Doughboy went out there and showed out.
That guy, man, that was one of those character soul fights.
Yeah. Exactly what we were just talking about.
I don't want to say too much. I don't know if it's dropped yet, but did it?
Oh,
drop
it
yet?
did. Talk about it.
Dope.
Talk about it.
Well, y'all gotta go watch that fight because both fighters, man, they had to dig deep, and man, Doughboy just dug a little deeper because and you could really see it when he won, dude. Like you said, like his heart and soul was on fire when he got that victory. He felt like oh man, he felt like infinite, like made of gold. Oh, gave me chills to see him win.
Doughboy went from 0-4 to champion. He worked his way up. You know, he legitimately became a boxer and then became champ. You know,
Legitimately won that fight.
yeah.
That
I
was
call him Bread Man. He's no longer Doughboy. He's Bread Man.
that
You
was
know,
Hey,
the dough has hardened.
bro.
Oh man, the dough has risen. Oh man,
The dough has risen.
you like that? You like that?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. No, you know what? Going back to what you said about the names, like the characters. Okay, so in the organized fight world, it's considered taboo to pick your own name. Like your name's supposed to come from a coach or Joe Rogan comes up with your name, whatever. You're never supposed to pick your name. One of the things I like the most about Street Beefs is not only do you pick your name, you're expected to come up with a name.
Yeah.
And that is unique, you know. So everybody has a chance to, hey, you're very welcome, Doughboy. Everybody creates this name, and it gives you like this insight into like how they think a little bit, you know. Like everybody, and you like you ask, like, what does that mean? And they got this awesome, cool story.
We owe it, Ryan. We owe.
Amazing.
so I was gonna say real quick, Hostility, because we were talking about some training and stuff. You have one mean ass overhand right. I was
Oh,
curious, how hard do you drill that thing? Because I mean, I
oh
think once or
man.
twice I saw somebody's soul leave their body when you connected. I was like,
Oh man. Yeah, no, that's just honestly, that's just a lazy punch. Yeah, I'll be lazy. Not anymore because, like I said, when I was doing street beefs, I hadn't really been training, especially with my first fight. So I was like, I've been out for 2 years. Let's see if I still got it. I'm really out of shape, drinking a lot of beer. I was not anymore, and so yeah, that was just lazy punching. But I appreciate it.
Do you have a favorite strike or attack in general? In any?
Yeah, the left hook. I got a solid left hook. I know you guys didn't really see that very much. And my 2-3-2. So right hand, left hook, right hand. That's my favorite. hmm You'll
2-3-2.
be seeing it. You'll be seeing it when I'm in the bare knuckle.
All right.
yeah.
Order.
And yeah, 'cause I think you're what in weight class with like Taylor Starling and like Joey
No,
Breton Hart, and yeah, there's gonna be some good fights. Can't wait to watch you knock them all out.
I think Taylor
Yeah, let's
Starling.
go.
I think Taylor Starling is 115, 125.
I don't know why I thought she was
I'll
one
be
heavier.
145 because she's so
I thought
tall.
she was one. Oh, okay. Never
So
She's
mind. Then
tall.
she's
you
like
do study your
135.
opponents. You are studying.
Oh yeah, I'd be dumb not to. Heck yeah, you got to. And that's
Yeah.
what you can't do with street beefs. That's why it's so wild. You're just going in, hoping for the best.
Yeah.
I know.
Mhm.
Ryan asked if you would ever do some power slap. Would either of you do it?
No, I
No.
wouldn't. I think respect to people who do it, but I think that is just like you're already getting. This is a part of fighting people don't talk about. You're already getting brain damage from fighting. So why would I stand there and ask somebody to give me brain damage like that? Like put my hands behind my back, not protect myself just so they can knock my brain around. I'm good. But respect to those who do it. Somebody's definitely getting knocked out when they do that.
So,
hmm
man.
You know, I think
hmm
I think that sport is so new that we still have not seen the long term detrimental effects of exactly what you're talking about. I
hmm
strongly believe that in the next couple of years we're gonna start hearing some pretty serious stuff as a result of that.
Yeah.
You know,
Because a lot of it is that head wit, because they're head wit. Yeah,
yeah.
you guys
Oh,
will see it, and
I've
that's what caused
not
your brain
seen a
rattling.
black fighter that doesn't leave with a concussion. I think even if you win, I think everybody that does that gets concussed for sure.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta have my guard up. I'm not letting nobody just walk up and slap me like that. Hell no.
No.
I don't care how much you're paying me. Well, actually, I do. $1 million, I'll do it. But
Hey, you better be careful. An organization will reach out and offer you $1 million.
oh, $1 million? Oh, dang, that'd be cool. Once.
Oh, right? Hey, would
I
you guys
mean, they got big necks.
take a hard slap like that for $1 million? I definitely would take it for 500 grand. I'll take it for
500.
50.
Yeah, 500. That's real. That's real.
Dang, I'd be in the gym
I
every
just
day
think
working
about
on my
those
neck.
heavyweights and those super heavyweights.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude. You see
yeah.
one where the dude's face was like all swollen?
Oh,
Like, it was
yes.
like, oh.
Yeah, it sure was. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
lip
Yeah.
was like, yeah, nah.
Yeah.
That guy had to have broken something, right? Like, there's no way.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
20 grand to fight? I don't know. 500. 500. 500,000. Minimum.
The only time I only feel bad when I see like the clubbing. Like I remember when DTP was up one time and the guy clubbed and you could see like the shit. I was like, oh dang,
Oh, yeah.
ouch.
When they
Mhm.
like almost palm instead of slap, it's like palm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
Oh.
yeah.
And I know I'm
Or
gonna lose if I
when
go against a Samoan.
when
They
they're
got big
attacking and the
hands.
hand goes
I know,
out,
right? Where
so
they
now they got to switch hand.
Mm-mm.
big old bear paws on them. Boom.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
It's bigger than your head. You're like, wait a minute, this isn't fair.
Hey, what's his name, dude? Henry. He used to do security for our events, bro. Island.
No, Savage Island.
Dog. Imagine getting slapped by that fool, dude. Oh my god.
You breaking up? Say that again.
Savage Island. Our boy used to do security at the events. Remember him? The big giant Samoan guy. Come on.
He was huge.
Huge. Had the big hair. Some kid got
He was. I remember as West Coast 3 is where I met him at.
his hand
yeah, he
is
was-
probably the size of a Big Mac cheese. It's so thick, bro. Like
Like getting hit by a brick.
huge.
Oh my gosh.
Sweetest guy in the world. Like most Samoan. I swear to God, you ever met like the bigger the Samoan, the sweeter they are. Sweetest guy you ever met. Huge pie hands on him.
Mm-mm.
He's got like
Huge.
5 kids too. His wife is actually playing for the national Tongan rugby team. So they got some nice things going on over there in their family. So, yeah, shout out to Henry and his family and everything they've been accomplishing.
Dang, I know he coached some football, but rugby's tough, man. You gotta be tough to play that sport. Woo!
No, his wife plays rugby. He was one of the head coaches for I'm not sure which football team. But yeah, he had a lot of success with that. But yeah, they're
Talking Savage Island.
Yeah, dude. You're talking about
Yeah.
the thickness of his paws. Like
I miss him, bro. I miss him. He was a beast.
I tried to get him to come out to the most recent event, but you know, I was saying his wife is playing for the Tongan national rugby team, so I know he's taking care of the family, and you know he's got like 5 kids, so
yeah.
I got 1 kid, bro, and that's plenty. I don't know how if my wife left, bro, and I had to take care of like 5 kids, dude.
Right.
Yeah. I'd go bald. No oh shit. What? Damn it. I knew I took a fat hit earlier and I just got a brain fart. Sorry, I had a question in mind I was gonna ask. Oh man.
Was it about slapping or thick hands?
Right? Come on, we only got like 3 left. Shit.
I was gonna say, Master Roshi, man. For those who don't know, you actually back in the day competed. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So let's see. I think my first fight was in like 2008. And my last fight was last year for my birthday. I competed in MMA. I had 3 professional fights. I won one of them. I lost one. My first fight I lost via armbar. Second fight lost via decision. Then my third fight, I won by TKO.
There you go.
Let's see. I never really competed because I wanted to become world champ. I competed to kind of like to keep myself busy, keep my mind busy, and give me something to do. Like a lot of fighters, I was headed towards a bad path, you know, and I got into MMA to get me off of that path. I never in a million years thought I was gonna become like this coach and do everything, travel everywhere that MMA took me. But I only did it to get out of trouble, stay out of trouble, and stay clean. And since I got into the sport, I've worked for the UFC. I've lived in Hawaii where I helped the UFC set up gyms. I've worked. I got to meet Mike Tyson. I trained a professional NBA athlete. I mean, sky's the limit, and kind of goes back to what I said earlier about how Street Beefs, the organization, how it helps people. MMA itself, I am one of the many people that will say MMA saved my life, and I don't mean that lightly. Before I got into MMA, I lived in Huntington Beach, and you know I was selling some illegal substances at the time. I was getting really deep into that world, bro, and I know I needed something to get me out of that. I know I needed a better path, and so I got MMA, started competing. And I told my coach, I was like, I'm only here to compete, you know, because I have to fight. Like I need to do this. You know, I never told him the details. I was like, I need to compete. So I started training, getting ready for competition. And 20 years later, I've traveled the world. I've lived all over the place. I've coached countless people, and I have a beautiful son. I have a healthy marriage. You know, I'm helping him alive, and I think I owe all that thanks to MMA and what it did for me as an individual. You know, and that's why my son will absolutely have to master and learn martial arts. What it does for you as a human being cannot be described in words. What it does to people.
Absolutely. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I was gonna say it's I'm gonna give you the bare bad news in a minute, and we're gonna have to let y'all, you know, say some final words, let people know a little bit about you, or anything you want to say in your social medias before we let you go. But I was gonna ask Hostility one last time because we kind of got a little bit of Master Roshi. Why it is exactly you fight deep down? What makes you step into that ring?
I don't have any like sentimental story or anything. I just really think it's fun. It's a lot of fun to me. Always has been. I've been obsessed with fighting since I was a really little kid. My parents used to get me those blow up punching bags. I don't know if you guys know what those are, but you
Yep.
get them for like 3-year-olds. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom used to get me those all the time when I was really little, and I was obsessed with the Three Ninjas, those movies, and
Yeah.
Walker Texas
Tom
Ranger. You
Tom.
know,
Talking about Tom
yes,
Tom.
yes, and Cole, yes. Um, so I've just always been obsessed with it. It's been fun. As a girl, I've probably gotten in more street fights than most girls just because, not out of anger or anything, just out of fun. Like, I don't know why. It's just like I get hyped. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And then,
Hey, imagine
yeah.
that girl. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It also has taught me a lot as well in life. I think that's why I think it's important for everybody to at least fight once, especially in Street Beefs because it's monitored. Because you learn a lot about yourself within 30 seconds of that bell dinging, you know. So,
Brief.
mhm, yeah. Or even
I
sparring
lost
in the
mine.
gym, you know, you learn a lot about yourself.
What about you, Somke? Why do you put on the gloves?
For me, man, it's just a matter of like being a martial artist. You know, this is a lifestyle. This is a forever type of thing. I have to keep myself in check, keep my spirit in check, keep my physicality in check, you know, keep my mental in check. And this helps dramatically with that. So again, it's the lifestyle.
What about you, Mr. Valenzuela? Why do you fight?
I I want to be a living example to my family, not just like my girl, my kids, but to everybody in my nana, my tata, my uncles, everybody that I'm living proof that, like I said in the intro, no matter how hard I get punched in the face, I always get back up. I've had my ups and my downs, my this and that's, and fighting really helps me discipline myself to the point where I have my physicality, my mentality, my spirituality a lot more in line than I ever do. And because of that, I feel like I'm gonna fight in life no matter what it is. I'm gonna fight for my children. I'm gonna fight for my family. I'm gonna fight for what I believe and what is right. And I believe it's pretty much right because I believe everyone should find a way to work together. And even though most things can be solved with words, sometimes fists are necessary. But I want to be a proven factor that no matter what, you should always stand up for yourself, stand up for what you believe in, no matter what. And at the end of the day, you got to live with yourself. And so I'm happy with what I do. I'm happy with what I live, and I'm a living example. I'm not a hypocrite. And I've lost so many times. I've won so many times, and everything in between. I've had my ego checked a million times, and I love it because it grounds me and it lets me know that I'm a human and I'm here and I could always do my best. And like they say, what one man can do, another can do.
I love that.
Heck yeah.
Real.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt. My phone's gonna die right now, so I'm gonna have to take off. But I appreciate you guys letting me on. Can I do a quick
Silly,
shout
are
Absolutely.
out?
you on Instagram or
Yeah,
anything?
Now's
do
the
it. Hell
time.
yeah.
Yeah. So my Instagram is Faith Fights. You can check me out on Facebook. Faith Dre is my name. Uh, I train at a Believers Boxing Gym, so check them out too in Tri City, Washington. This year, keep a lookout. I'm gonna do bare knuckle boxing. Thank you. All
Oh yeah, great to have you.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome. Thank you.
right,
We
you guys have
appreciate
a
it.
good one.
You too. Heart in the fight. Oh, what's
Yo,
up?
KT, let's go. Master Roshi, you want to give out your shout outs and plugs?
Well, if anybody wants to stay in contact with me, it's at Coach Alfredo, just like it's up there. There's a L and a B at the end, Coach Alfredo LB on Instagram. It's a private account, so request me, and if your credentials check out, I'll add you. But other than that, I got to give a shout out to my boy Somke for inviting me onto the show. Thank you so very much. I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Tiny Tank, Martin Rubio, the originator of the Street Beefs West Coast branch. Thank you for everything you've done for all of us and for the organization. And of course, I'm gonna give a shout out to the godfather of it all, Face. Without you, none of this would have been possible. I would have never met these wonderful people. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you for starting this wonderful thing.
Much appreciated, brother. Don't you have a podcast, something else?
So we're creating, we're creating there's a new channel that we're putting together. And Jet, who fought on Street Beefs West Coast, he's actually the head media. He's the editor, the head editor, the head camera.
Whoa.
He's the brain behind a lot of it. We are starting a new YouTube channel, and it's a completely different thing. But it will cover Street Beefs events. It will cover alt lifestyle events. So look out for that. When we get ready to launch it, I will come back on the show and tell you guys everything about it. But yeah, keep a lookout because it's gonna be an awesome, awesome, awesome show. You're gonna love it.
Hell yeah. Can't wait to tune in.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna get out of here too.
Have a good night, bro. Thank you.
Dang, I wish I didn't have to end that, man.
I know, man. That could have kept going, but time is of the essence.
Right. Can't keep everybody all night.
We got our commercials coming up, and then what else?
Some little fighters to watch and a little fire to keep you warm.
Yeah.
All right.
What's up, everybody? It's Jay from Yankee and the Brit bringing you some exciting news. King Palms and Yankee and the Brit are teaming up together to give you an amazing deal. Head over to kingpalm.com, use promo code KPYNB to save 20% off your entire order. That's right, 20% off your entire order just by using the promo code KPYNB. If you want to enhance your smoking experience, King Palms has you covered. Innovative designs, premium quality, and they're all natural. So make sure you go over to kingpalm.com and use the promo code KPYNB at checkout to save 20% off your entire order.
Street Beefs Awards coming up February 10th. You guys be sure to check it out. We're covering
Buddy V's Fighters to Watch.
So, we start off with the scrapyard. As always, it's good. The chef. This is who you want to check out. The fight I was watching was phenomenal. I mean, the amount of heart in these fighters that was going on was just could not be matched. I mean, they were going and going so much so that the ref had to step in because you could see these guys could barely lift their hands, but they refused to quit. And that's what I absolutely love to see. And so when I saw the chef come out and put on a show, I was like, I got to see some more of this guy. Just both of the fighters, but I can only pick one, come on. So you might see the other one some other time. Second one. Fighter to watch, Doughboy, because he was already a fighter to watch before, and he's the current champ. He's living proof that with hard work, grit, and determination, you can make anything you want achievable in life. You can go out there and take anything that you even dream of, and that's what he did. So I want to give you a shout out. You're a fighter to watch because you got the belt. I chose you as a fighter to watch long ago, and you proved to everybody why you were someone to watch and why they should not take their eyes off of you. Doughboy. Street Beefs from the OG yard. Peace. Now, this was a fun fight to watch because the fight that I checked it in was there was a size difference. So Peace had a little bit more of the skill, and he fought someone with 45 pounds heavier than him. And I was already like, ooh, this is going to be interesting to see how he fares it out. And the fact that you go up with anyone heavier, that much heavier than you, is much respect. And he stepped in there, and he proved a point of that skill definitely plays a huge part. And sometimes weight doesn't matter. So now I'm like, hey, hold on a minute. Let me come see what's up. Come on, let me see some more of you. You gave us a little taste. Come back out. Those are my 3 fighters to watch.
nice. Always fire picks, man. Always.
Of course, Doughboy. It's a little, it's a little chilly in here. We need to warm up. What do you say?
Yeah, Sound K and the Fire 5. Let's go ahead and start things off. First and foremost, Street Beefs OG Yard. You see it, the babysitter versus the tarantula. This was a highly competitive MMA bout. We got a lot of grappling, a lot of give and take. Like I said, very competitive with these guys. This was a stellar sportsmanship was displayed, but this was a fire matchup nonetheless. Both men showing nice takedowns and never losing the will to fight. Street Beefs OG Yard, the babysitter versus the tarantula firefight. Yeah, Street Beefs Scrapyard. If you're trying to look this up, you see the title on the screen. This is a fight between Mr. Wu and Karate Gandalf. You see the timestamp. It's one of those. This was a nice technical start. We got nice shot placement, and then we got a nice finish. I will say checking kicks is critical. Checking kicks is critical. Street Beefs Scrapyard, Mr. Wu versus Karate Gandalf, firefight. Moving on. Yeah, Street Beefs West Coast. You see it. This was a fight that just took place at the last event. Island Strong versus Apex Underdog. This was a very, very, very technical boxing match. Both men came in showing a lot of improvements and adjustments from their last fight. We saw a lot of poised, well-placed shots, and we got a lot of aggression. We got a lot of footwork, and both these guys, again, showing will. I definitely want to see both these guys come back and fight again in 2024. Street Beefs West Coast, Island Strong versus Apex Underdog, firefight. Yeah, We talked about Face earlier. Who knew he was going to be on the Fire 5? Street Beefs OG Yard. Scarface versus Warpath. It's been a minute since we've seen Face in the yard, and this feels like one of those old-time classics right here. These guys were giving each other pinpoint power shots and really showing us that age is just a number. I will say, like we say in every episode, cardio is key. Cardio is key. Cardio is key. With that, this was a great fight. Street Beefs OG Yard, Scarface versus Warpath. And we're going to go ahead and take you to the Street Beefs Dirty South. I want to go ahead and say, for those of you guys who are unaware, Street Beefs Dirty South has uploaded a ton of fights recently. Go check out the channel. A lot of it is lost footage. So a lot of the fighters' names aren't on display, such as this fight here. Nonetheless, you can look this fight up. It'll say Two Savages, something to that extent. This was a fire fight on the Dirty South branch. Explosive from start to finish. Big shots landing by both men. We got a lot of vicious attacks on the ground. A lot of great exchanges. Excellent grappling, chopping kicks, and we got a shocking ending. Street Beefs Dirty South. Check it out. Somcan the Fire 5.
Yeah. Fire picks as always. Fire picks. You know, always giving the people lovely fights to check out.
Appreciate it. Yeah, once again, Street Beefs Award Show going down February 10th. Live. Check us out. Come support. Come see who was picked. Was it your favorite fight? Was it your favorite fighter? Only one way to find out.
Yeah, I know. I'll be tuning in. Man, well, is it about that time, Somke?
It's about that time, brother, man. Another fire show. Great conversations as always. But, you know, we got to go home and we got to do what we got to do. I want to thank our guests tonight, Master Roshi. Again, one of the greatest, you know, man, we appreciate you, bro. And just also you being my coach, one of my coaches, thank you. Hostility, thank you. We appreciate your time. You guys go out and check out Hostility's fights. She's a beast. First and foremost, I want to thank the branches, OG Yard, Scrapyard, West Coast, Dirty South. We do this for y'all, people in the live chat, people watching us on replay. Thank you. We do this for you guys. Buddy V, I appreciate you, bro, every week. Jay in the background, I appreciate you, bro, every week. Again, y'all trying to catch me, I'll be here every Tuesday, every week, same time, same place. And shout out to Overtime Hustling Magazine, always supporting. Shout out to Heart in the Fight, always supporting. And that's it for me, man.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Zuel. Now, that's my fault. I have a new logo, and you got to check it out. Go to zuel-world.com. Go check it out. The Derek Gates merch is no longer available, but there's going to be some new Zuel merch. Some other t-shirts are probably going to upload, not tonight, but tomorrow. I got a couple things to do tonight. But if you guys want, I might be willing to bring these sweatshirts back and put them on the website. I won't do the full sweatsuit, but I might do the sweatshirts, you know, just in case. Just for a little fall weather. It's coming up. Still the end of winter. I mean, little spring weather. But, I mean, other than that, you know, check out Zuel-World. My Instagram, Zuel_BuddyV. All sorts of fun things. You know, I like to have my hands on all sorts of fun projects. So you got to make sure you check it all out. And I appreciate all of you because most of my support actually comes from outside of Tacoma, outside of Washington State. A lot of the stuff I ship out is completely all over and from wherever the Street Beefs fighters are. So thank you, everyone watching. Thank you to everyone who supports. And thank you, Somke. Thank you, Jay. You guys are the highlight of my Tuesday and every week. So that being said, we'll end it in Jay's famous words: one world, one love, deuces.